So, the life of grocery pickup means that you randomly get things substituted that you would never buy.
Yeah.
So I got like one thing of like a mixed package of fruit roll-ups and Gushers and stuff, and they couldn't do that, and so they substituted it with 2 king-size packs of blue raspberry fruit by the foot, and then just like a variety fruit Gushers. The Gushers are fine, but blue raspberry fruit by the foot is terrible.
I believe it.
I typically like blue raspberry.
That's why they packaged it with Gushers, because they couldn't get anybody else to buy it.
I've never really liked fruit by the foots in general, so yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, do not like. I texted David and Carrie and I was like, "Can James eat fruit roll-ups yet?"
No, but I can.
Hello, friends. My name is Jacob Collins, and you're listening to the Mistconceptions podcast.
That was supposed to provide answers, but all I have is more questions. Cooper Wheatley is the sheriff from Nottingham. Well, that just makes sense. But what is the Cabal planning? And what role did Paul St. George have in all this? And, how do we find Linda? I really hope we find what we need at the news station. Otherwise, I don't know what leads we have anymore.
Previously on Misconceptions, the crew met Miss Minnie, the 5th chair of the Cabal, a member of the inner circle of the Cabal, and they didn't fight her. They didn't try to kill her either. Although Faye had some thoughts about killing her, they didn't. What they did was ask Miss Minnie some questions, and Miss Minnie claimed to be the smartest woman in the city and revealed some information to them, but was unable to reveal more information to them, seemingly bound by some spell that allowed her to keep living even after she had been beheaded by her own personal enemies. Equipped with the knowledge and riddled by the questions that Miss Minnie had left them with, the crew decided to find Linda Lockwood, the woman upon whom, apparently, Miss Minnie says, this whole operation hinges on. So the crew has decided to go to the weekly news station and try to find out where Linda has been hiding.
Bum, bum, bum.
And before we get into this episode, it occurs to me that I never explained Endgame. It happened a couple of episodes ago, not the movie, the custom move that we are introducing in this last part of Misconceptions as the Cabal nears the end of their operation, their plan. And I realized that y'all rolled an 8 during episode 81, and I never explained what happened. So, on a 7 through 9, I get to step up a status called Encroaching Danger. I get to step it up by 2. On a 10 plus, I get to step it up by 3. And whenever I step it up by 2 things happen. The first thing you were already witness to, the explosion at 123 Blanco Street, the water treatment plant exploding. But there is a second thing that has happened that is linked to the Cabal's endgame that will eventually lead to their plan being enacted that has happened that you are not aware of yet. And so at the start of every session, I'll ask you to roll that endgame move, and you will add the encroaching danger status to your roll. So right now, it is an encroaching danger 2 status. Whenever it gets to a 5, the Cabal's plan happens. So right now, encroaching danger 2 needs to get to a 5 for the Cabal to completely enact their plan. But now, everything is falling into place for the Cabal, and the crew is on a desperate race to solve the mystery before it happens. And so, this episode opens up at the weekly news. Or rather, I'm not sure where it opens up, because this episode is going to be a little different. We're going to use the heist rules in the Fortune Row supplement of City of Mist. And we're going to play this like a heist, which means it's going to be very Ocean's 11-y, where we're flashing back and forth between the present and the past, where the crew prepared. And I will say Woodard will count as a +1 tag. If you can think of a way to use him during the show, because presumably he's going to be around till the end. So you all take the liberties you want with this, and if we need to flash back to the prep sequence, we do. But the weekly news station is a multi-floored building. It is one of the skyscrapers of the city. It is the premier news network of the city. Like I said, numerous floors. And I think, let's see, I guess it's a 24 hours news station, so you could go there at night. But what time of day is it?
I assumed nighttime, but...
Yeah, I was thinking like early morning hours, like after the 11 o'clock news, people would have left kind of thing.
So like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Okay. I dig it. So late at night, who do we see walking up to the weekly news? What's going on?
So before that, before we walk up, as we pull up, Mohammed has pulled out a bundle of papers, and I would like to go to the whatever stage.
You like to go to the prep sequence?
Yes.
Okay.
So you see Mohammed interacting with he's interacting with a security guard, like at a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And the security guard has the logo of the news station on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And you just see them kind of chatting, and some money changes hands, and then a bundle of papers changes hands.
Okay, so let's roll a change the game to see what you get.
Okay. Network of clients.
Okay, so is this due to a past client of yours?
Yeah, so I helped. He was in some trouble or had some issues going on, and I kind of helped him out as his lawyer or gave him some legal advice. So just somebody I've helped in the past.
Okay, so you're rolling with a +1, but you rolled a 10.
Yes.
So on a 10 with change the game, you get 2 juice.
Okay, so for one, I would like to create a story tag of shift schedule. It's like the guard shift schedule.
Okay.
And could I scale up the effect to a, like, layout of the building kind of thing?
I think you could just make a extra story tag of layout of the building.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and write those 2 tags down. So you have a layout of the building, and you have a schedule of the guard?
Yeah, guard schedule.
And also, I will reveal now that there is a spectrum on this scene called Running Out of Time. It is Running Out of Time 4. Every time you fail a move in the prep scene, I get to step up the Running Out of Time by 1. Whenever it gets to 4, you cannot invoke the prep sequence anymore. You have run out of time, and you have to fly by the seat of your pants to complete this heist.
So you don't want Esther to roll for the prep scene.
Okay.
Yeah. So flip open a briefcase, pull out some papers, hand the guard schedule to Faye and the map to Esther.
All right, my contact is giving us some information here. I've marked on the map where the guards come and go, or at least where they're supposed to come and go.
Nice. This is brilliant. Well done. And Faye scans the shift schedule sheet. What is the shift with the least amount of people?
The
Right
time
now.
you're going right now.
Great. I was going to say it'd be super easy if you said the 3 a.m. one.
Yes, it would be easy for me.
Esther uses her scanner vision to memorize the... That'd be really funny to say that.
It looks like there's a block of time, about 30 minutes, where there's only a few guards between shifts. So we need to get in and get out.
Okay, that's our window then. Faye flashes back / stays in prep sequence, whichever we're at right now. Esther, what disguises should we have with the security cameras? Should we just have wigs or hats or...
Ski mask.
That won't be threatening at all, yes.
Well, who cares if it's threatening as long as they can't see us on the screen when they're watching later? That's what matters.
You're right.
Besides, you're the one that wanted to kill Miss Minnie.
Faye rolls her eyes and nods. I seem to be a little aggressive lately. I think you've rubbed off on me.
I'm not going to have y'all roll for that. Y'all have ski masks. Okay, flashback to the now. Y'all are still in the car. The whole point of the heist is that we get right to the action and don't waste a lot of time planning.
Yeah, I thought we were going
too.
right in and then
Yeah?
flashback.
I thought so too. Sorry. So, we're in the building then?
Sure, we could.
Oh,
who's?
wait.
Sure. So y'all walk up the steps. Are all 4 of you walking in?
Yeah, but at different entrances.
Okay. There is one main entrance up a short. Well, no, I guess it would be just base level. There's like the rotating doors that leads into the lobby area of this skyscraper.
Mm-hmm. And there's not a back door.
Oh, I mean, of course, there's a back door. In the city, there's always a back door.
There is a fire escape.
But if you wanted to go through the back door, I will need to sneak around.
Muhammad's gonna walk through the front door without the ski mask on yet. He's just gonna walk in.
So Muhammad walks in. Is Woodard with you?
Sure, yeah. Woodard and I will go in together, since we're not
Okay.
wanted.
How are y'all dressed? Are y'all dressed in like your legal attire, or are you dressed as normal?
So we're kind of in our suits.
Okay. So Woodard is wearing a gray suit, black shoes, tight black gray Windsor knot, white button-up shirt, and he walks in through the door and like does that cool thing where like buttons his suit jacket together and like just takes in the lobby.
Yeah, Muhammad walks in. He's wearing a tan suit with a silver, like one of those shiny dress shirts. No tie, but he's got a bolo. And the top button's unbuttoned because his neck's too thick. So he just kind of walks through the door.
Woodard looks at you and says, "Are you ready?"
Yeah, I'm ready. Looks like the records room is second floor, fourth door on the left.
All right, let's do this. And he gives you a fist bump. Buddies. And y'all walk through the lobby.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, where are Esther and Faye?
We're going in the back.
I want to quit the gym. Okay, so y'all are going in the back.
I don't know. Now I'm thinking it would have been better. I don't know. Because I'm thinking somebody should create a distraction, but not the people that are wanted.
Hey,
they would get got.
We have a prep sequence. Maybe y'all planned a distraction. Do you want to flash back?
Esther does not want to roll. She can avoid it because she will die. Sure. We'll what's that word?
It is called a prep sequence.
We'll prep sequence back. And they're all circled around the table at Faye's cottage, and they're looking over things, and Esther's telling everybody, I think the best and easiest thing to do is going to be a distraction. Woodard and Muhammad, you go in the front door. Faye and I will pull the fire alarm at the back.
All right. We should wait until we have the records. Then you pull it and we get out in the panic.
The point is to distract them so you can get the records.
Esther, we could also go in with our ski masks. Muhammad and Woodard could appear, very professional, and we could go in with our ski masks, as if we were with our guns drawn, which would certainly draw lots of attention while they snuck in too. Granted, I would need to borrow a gun, but I did really well
one,
with
I'm
it
not
going to
give you a gun, and two, we're wanted, so we don't really want people to be looking at us.
But we have our ski masks on.
But they could take them off.
But we have the gun.
You don't have a gun.
I will remind everybody, Faye does not need to borrow a gun because she is packing a gun stolen from a fire marshal in her yoga pants.
Do I still have it in my yoga pants?
I'm almost
Never
certain
took
that
it
you
out.
do.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so pull the fire alarm or run in guns drawn.
I mean, one seems a little less risky than the other.
Yeah.
Faye is outvoted, so pulling the fire alarm. But we need to wear the gloves so that when it sprays the ink, we can dispose of the glove.
What?
What?
I thought that was only if
That's
you
only money.
break the
That's
Yeah.
money breaking into banks.
Are you shoplifting or are you pulling a fire alarm?
What ink are you talking about?
At my high school, if you pulled the fire alarm, it sprayed your hand.
What?
Really?
So that they could charge you if you...
I have never seen
falsely
that
pulled
anywhere.
Was that a story?
You bunch of delinquents.
What? What did Carrie say?
Is that just a story that they told y'all so you wouldn't?
It could have been a story they told us.
Definitely could have. Maybe Faye has been told this story.
I have never seen that anywhere. That's crazy if it's true. Oh man.
Maybe that is something they have said at her elementary, and so like she has said it to the children so many times that like she believes it. But it's like, no, that's not how fire alarm works.
She said ink and my brain went, huh?
So you're trying to get in the back door to pull the fire alarm?
The fire alarm.
We pulling the fire alarm, guys.
Hey guys, are you here to pull the fire alarm? Because I can
guys.
help you.
Hey, guys.
I'm the Rift of Tiny Tim, apparently. God bless us, everyone.
Okay.
Not any Tiny Tim I know.
Carrie, I would like you to roll a sneak around.
Can I use my react before it happens?
How would it help you?
I get a sense. Like, I would get some kind of sense if there was somebody, like, right on the other side of the door or something like that. Or, like, I may get a, like, I don't know, like, my hearing is extra sensitive in that moment. And so I could hear if there's, like, somebody coming right around the corner, and I can, like, push Faye back and slip in the, you know what I mean?
Sure. So add react before it happens. Faye, could you add any help points?
No, I already used all of them on whatever. I used 4 on that last roll, so I have no help points on Esther.
All right, so rolling a sneak around with a +1.
Come on, Esther.
I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. So on a sneak around, you do it, but on a 7 through 9, someone unimportant notices you. You are perceived by secondary sense, or you must leave something important behind or risk being discovered. I like this idea. You must separate yourself from Faye, or both of you will be discovered. Okay. So you slip in. It is a maze of hallways and doors and utility rooms back here, and you're looking for the the fire alarm. And you're walking. How do you and Faye get separated? Like, what happens that you have to leave her behind, or you will both get discovered?
I have an idea.
What you got?
So it's a maze of hallways, and so, there's a hallway that intersects with the hallway we're walking down, and Esther, like, stands at the corner and looks, and there isn't anyone, and she gets to the other side, and continues down the hallway, and Faye goes to look and sees someone coming, and so she ducks into a closet. And Esther has gone ahead and turned a corner before she realizes that Faye had to duck in the closet.
Yeah. And I like that idea, and I like the idea that that person walks into the closet that Faye is hiding in and is, like, rummaging around for something, and Faye is, like, hiding on the other side of a shelf or, like, behind some wires or something, thereby further separating her from Esther.
Like, I can't leave right away. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So Esther, you walk a little bit further, you get to, like, another T-section intersection, and you look back to see where Faye is. Faye's not there.
Shit, we don't have time for this. I gotta go. I keep moving towards where I know that the fire alarm is.
Yeah. And you do get to it because you rolled a partial success. You get to the fire alarm. What do you do?
I look closely at it to see if there's anything that would shoot ink out at me. Just kidding. I take a look around. I pull the fire alarm and I walk back the way that I came.
Okay. Pull the fire alarm. It starts blinking and there's a loud blaring noise. Let's cut over to Muhammad and Woodard. Where are y'all at before the fire alarm goes off?
So I think we're at the top of the stairs leading to the second floor.
Okay.
So we just stepped off the landing onto the second floor.
Okay. So you have climbed up these stairs. There are people jostling and bumping around. And as you get to the top of the stairs, Muhammad, you feel somebody bump into your shoulder, and you hear them say, "Oh, oopsie," and they kind of pat you, sorry, and they dart down the hallway. And Muhammad, you look at the back of this person, and the most notable thing about them is their head of bouncing golden curls. And Muhammad, I would like to ask you, is this an old romantic flame of Muhammad's, or is it an old romantic flame of Woodard's?
Let's go for Muhammad. Why not?
Okay. Mohammed, you recognize your old flame, Goldie, a pickpocket, a thief. You thought she had left town, and you quickly check your wrist. Your watch is gone. And you see the back of Goldie quickly going down the hallway, or going down like this upper landing of the second floor. And at right that moment, the fire alarms go off. There's a loud blurring noise. Some of the sprinklers turn on, and you hear people shouting and dismally crying out. What do you do?
Muhammad's confused and a little frustrated, and he starts to chase after her, but then I think Woodard kind of grabs his arm and he just snaps back out of it.
Yeah, I think he grabs your arm and he checks you and he says, Mohammed, what's wrong?
Goldie's here. Stole my watch.
His eyes go wide. Goldie here?
I don't know. It's not important.
Bollocks. Wherever she is, trouble is sure to follow. Hopefully she's not going to interfere with anything.
I imagine she probably will. Anyways, should be right up here. And they're just gonna walk towards the door that they saw on the thing, looking for the placard that says records room.
Okay, so you're walking up, and it is. Woodard reaches out and jiggles a handle. It's locked, and he looks to you and he says, "I think it could use a strong push."
Yeah, Muhammad kind of chuckles, and I'm gonna put both hands on the doorknob. Ursine transformation my forearms just enough to just push a little bit and just shove into the door really sharply, right into the door handle, just trying to shove the whole door handle through.
I love it. Yeah, you just pop it just enough to break the lock, and you ease it open. You walk into the records room, and you see just filing cabinets, presumably full of manila folders and files. And Woodard unbuttons his coat and kind of slings it over one of the filing cabinets and starts to roll up his sleeve. All right, let's start digging.
Yep.
And let's cut from that to Faye in the closet.
Is the person still in the closet?
I think once the alarms start to go off, they say, "Oh, man," and they hustle out of the room, leaving it open.
Okay. I want to try to get up to the records room to help them go through everything.
Okay. Let's roll a sneak around.
I don't believe going to add anything.
Wow.
The only thing that I could think of adding would be my acrobatic abilities, in that I could do a cool flip if someone was about to see me.
Sure, I'll allow it.
Thank you. +1. I got a 5.
A 5. Faye, you leave the safety of the closet. You start hustling down the hallway that you saw Esther hustle down. You take a left and then a right, and you enter into the big lobby area with multiple seating areas, a circular communications info desk, and just so many screens. And as you are kind of walking towards the stairs that will take you up to the second level, one of the news broadcasts catches your attention. And it just starts in the middle of the sentence.
Found dead in his townhouse. up above the city. He was known for his work in creating Knight Industries, but he recently sold all his stocks in the company and went into hiding. He was found earlier today by police, and afterwards, this exclusive footage was obtained.
And Faye, you turn and you see like grainy camera footage of 4 people walking down the road, and the news channel like zooms in on the 4 faces of Ren, Bill, Esther, and Faye. And the news reporter keeps going.
The 4 people that are currently most wanted for the attempted assassination of Pip Hamill and multiple other infractions and endangerment of the city, seemingly, are also connected to the death of Paul St. George, beloved tech mogul of the city.
And Faye, you kind of freeze in your tracks as you hear that report, and you turn around and you see 2 security guards are ushering people out, but they turn and they see you, and then right over your shoulder they see the blurry, grainy camera footage of you, and their hands start to go to their guns at their waist.
I have my ski mask on.
You do have your ski mask on? Okay, so they see a woman with a ski mask in the middle of the lobby. Their hands go to their guns. What do you do?
Okay, so Faye is standing right by the door into the staircase.
I think... No. You had walked into the middle of the lobby to get to the staircase that leads up to the second level. So you are somewhere near the middle, somewhere near the circle desk, and your back is silhouetted by all the TV screens with these different reports, most of them about the death of Paul St. George, his body just having been found today, this morning, or I guess late at night.
Okay, Faye is going to very gracefully pull her gun out of her yoga pants.
Okay. So Faye goes to pull this gun out gracefully. How does Faye actually pull it out?
So
It falls down her pant leg and she has to like shake it.
So obviously the yoga pants are tight, and then of course it's like under her shirt. So she's like got her hand up towards, like one hand up towards the security guards, and she's like trying to lift her shirt up with her other hand to get into the leggings that are like the high ones to like pull in her stomach, and then the gun is like clearly out the side and it's like slid down to her hip, so she's like digging with one hand to pull the gun up. And so she like keeps the hand out, you know, with her ski mask on. She pulls the gun out. She pulls the gun out and like holds it then with both hands and looks at them and says, "I wouldn't shoot if I were you."
I think in all the time of you doing that, they already had their guns out and they're pointing them at you, and they say, "Drop the gun!"
So you see, I could drop the gun, or we could talk about why guns promote so much violence in our society. I mean, I simply am walking through your lobby in a ski mask, and you automatically...
Get on the ground and drop the gun!
Okay, I see that you're very distressed. I recognize that. I understand your feeling. This is a very overwhelming situation. I would really like to comply with what you are telling me to do. Faye is clearly just
Tessa, I would like you to
water.
roll a face danger against a flesh wound 2.
He's in the process of getting to the ground, my gosh.
Were you actively like talking as you were putting your hands up and getting to the ground?
Well, yeah, I was gonna like start like putting the gun down on the ground, and then I was gonna run.
Oh, okay. Well then, if you are like complying and like going to put the gun down on the ground, one of them starts walking towards you with his gun still trained on you, and one still has his gun trained on you from far away.
Okay, so Faye is like going towards the ground. She's got her gun in hand. It appears very much that she's gonna set her gun down and lay down on the ground. And like right as she gets down, almost about to lay down, she like jumps up, flips back, and starts to run back down the hallway.
Okay, please roll a Take the Risk.
Yeah. Acrobatic Mastery.
Okay.
I got an 8.
An 8. All right, so I get to offer you an ugly choice. They either tackle you and give you an appropriate status and pin you to the ground, or does he grab your mask and tear it off, revealing who you are, and then there are guards in the hallway as well.
They tackle me there.
Okay, so roll a face danger against a subdued 2 status.
I got a 9.
A 9? Okay. So you take a tripped 1 status as like he dives for you, tries to grab you, but it's slick and wet, so he's sliding, you're sliding, he tries to grab you, and like instead you spin and hit your back on the corner of the wall, slowing your escape. And now he's kind of in between you and the door, or the entrance into the hallway. Let's go to Esther.
We don't have any comms anymore, right?
You and Faye have comms.
Well, okay, so as Esther is going back down the hallway after she pulled the fire alarm, she buzzes Faye on the comms or whatever, however you want to describe it, and says, Faye, our part of the mission is done. Where are you at?
If this is happening while I'm flipping away from the men with guns, I would say no. If this happens like after I hit my back against the wall, I would reach up and turn it on as I like went to keep running.
I think it happens as you spin and hit the wall.
Okay.
2 guards, guns, lobby, no, desk, TVs.
Okay. Esther, you get that very conflicting message.
Esther lets out a big sigh and turns around and starts heading towards the lobby.
Okay. You start running towards the lobby.
Not running.
Oh, just
heading.
You have your ski mask on?
Yep.
Okay. As you are walking with your ski mask up the hallway, you see somebody running towards you with their ski mask. Or actually, Tessa, go ahead and roll a go toe-to-toe. And apply your -1 for tripped up.
Okay. I got a 3.
Oh my god. Okay. So Faye, as you turn to run, that security guard says, "Oh no, ma'am!" grabs your arm and twists it up behind your back and forces you against the wall. Step up your tripped up 1 to a subdued 2 status.
Okay.
Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 84 of Misconceptions. I'm your host, David White, and summer is right around the bend. You know, when I was a kid in school, I was always so excited for summer. I had no idea how excited I would be as a teacher. And this year has been an exhausting year to be a teacher. But shout out to all the teachers out there. If you are a teacher listening to this episode, listening to the show, know that I am with you. I appreciate your hard work. And we have almost made it to the end of this school year. If you're not a teacher, I hope that you have some fun plans for summer. Getting out, seeing family, getting vaccinated, and just having a good summer and really making the most of any time you have to pursue creative projects and self-improvement and anything else you're wanting to do this summer. I hope that you have the time and the energy and the mental capacity to pursue whatever you want to do this summer. Let's get to some show notes really quick. We have hit our $500 a month goal on Patreon. I'm not going to shout and give a celebratory clap because my son is asleep in the next room. So I'm just going to say, yay! Thank you so much to all of our patrons that helped us get to this $500 a month goal. This means that I can begin to pay Tessa for every episode she edits of the After Hours Side Quest series, and I can pay Marlo for every episode that she edits of Sins of the Father, and I can pay myself for every episode that I edit of Misconceptions. Thank you so much for taking this creative, nerdy thing that was in my head and giving us the foundation to turn it into something self-sustaining and profitable for the people that enjoy making it so much. Thank you to all of our patrons for helping us get to this $500 a month goal. Now, I do not have a current goal set up yet, but I'm working on it. And you can bet that anything that you give to Patreon is going to go into making this show better and to improving the lives of anybody that is on this show with me. So thank you to all of our patrons. I will have a new patron goal up soon, and I hope that we can also smash through that with your help. There is a geek out during the credits after this episode ends. Be sure to stick around to hear us talk to Christian about his experience on coming back on the show to help us finish the show, and to hear us talk about Miss Minnie and the conversations and the questions therein and this heist episode. Be sure to stick around for the geek out during the credits after the end of the theme song. And I was talking about patrons earlier. I want to give a special patron shout out to Waddle Squad. Waddle Squad, thank you so much for your donation on our Patreon. Thank you so much for having the cutest little Patreon icon. But Waddle Squad, thank you so much for helping us get to our next level. And that's it out of me. Let's go ahead and get back to the show.
Now, let's cut back to Mohammed and Woodard in the records room. Presumably, you are looking for Linda Lockwood's contact information.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll and investigate.
Oh, hang on. Can I set the stage?
Sure can.
Okay. So as the camera cuts back, you see the chaos and you see people running in the hallway, but like in the records room itself, the sound is a little more muted and it's almost calm. And you just see Woodard like ripping out files, and Muhammad just kind of like file by file, just
yeah, meticulously going through
file by file. So yeah, you said roll to find it.
I love it. Yes, roll for an investigate.
I'd like to add my lawyer tag because I'm used to doing stuff like this, and I would also like to add the Woodard tag. Because he's
definitely. Yeah. He is definitely helping you in this instance.
And that's all I can really do.
Alright.
Okay, not bad. 9.
A 9? Alright, you get 2 questions. What 2 questions do you have for me?
Where do we find Linda Lockwood?
Okay, where's Linda Lockwood? Okay, you are looking through the L's. Woodard is simultaneously looking through another filing cabinet labeled L. And you find Linda's folder. You pull it out and you open it, and you see an address. You see like some old pay stubs and stuff, and you see an address.
Well, I'm going to just grab one of those pay stubs and just shove it in my pocket. And for my second question, does Goldie work here?
Does Goldie work here? That's your second question?
Yeah.
No, she does not work here.
Okay, I just wasn't sure.
As you do that, and as you pull the file, you see Linda's address, and like you turn around to like exclaim it to Woodard, but standing in the doorway, you see Goldie.
Okay.
The girl who broke your heart. You have had this relationship with her in the past. This relationship of like, will she work with me this time? Will she help me this time? And she always ends up double crossing you. Very Batman and Catwoman esque. But her way of living and her personality was just always so intoxicating to you. And she stands there draped up against the door. And give me what kind of pet name did she have for you?
Honey Bear. We can do Honey Bear. That works.
Honey Bear? Okay. You see Goldie draped up against the door jamb, and she kind of leans her head up against the door jamb, and she just gives you that coy little smile. Hey, Honey Bear. What are you doing here?
Goldie.
I've missed you.
That makes one of us.
Oh, come on, Honey Bear. And she like saunters into the room and like runs her pink fingernails across the filing cabinets that are now slick with the sprinklers. Don't say you haven't missed the fun we've had.
I don't have time for this right now.
Well, it looks like Grumpy Bear has let you out of your cage, so what's the harm in having a little fun? And she like puts her hands on your shoulder, and then Woodard pops up from the other side of the filing cabinet. Hello, Goldie. Speak of the devil.
Listen, Goldie, I'd love to talk, but today it's not the place. We need to go.
Okay, and as you you brush her off and make towards the door, the file folder in your hand suddenly grows hot. Hot. Too hot. And you drop it. And it falls to the ground, and as it does, it slides across the water, and she taps her boot on top of it, and she like raises her pink nails up to her lips, and she blows, and you see like a little steam coming off of her pink nails. Sorry, Honey Bear, but this is mine.
Yeah, Muhammad's gonna turn back around, I guess. Goldie, I don't have time. You know, it's just... there's a lot going on, and we need to go. So please.
Sorry, Mohammed, but I've got a job to do. And she reaches down and scoops up the file folder. And this is what I'm here for. Toodaloo. And you see her, hop skip towards a little crack in the wall. And she says, too big. And the crack opens up behind her into like this huge rift. And she like does a acrobatic flip through. And then on the other side of the wall you hear her say, too small. And then it goes back to just a little crack. And Woodard says, damn it! Come on, Mohammed!
Yeah. And you're just gonna run out with him, I guess.
Okay. Who do we want to cut to? I guess Esther?
I guess.
Okay.
There's not much doing with it.
So, Esther, you're running through the hallway, and you get to the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the lobby, and the first thing you see is a ski-masked Fae being forced up against the wall by a security guard while another is holstering his gun and speaking into a intercom on his shoulder.
I want to go back to the planning scene.
Okay.
The prep scene.
Yes.
I want to have talked about worst case scenario because we know that we always have worst case scenario.
There.
Esther and Woodard are talking Faye through some, not that Faye doesn't have the knowledge of like some self-defense, but like we're working on it some more. We figure like it can only help. And so we're doing some training of like, kind of like a Miscongeniality where you have like the sing thing where you're like stepping on toes and headbutting and like that whole thing. So Esther and Faye kind of come up with like a signal for like if they're going to have to double team, like this is my signal for you to go to start, and then I'm going to like take over and do whatever. Like now we go and we both like go into the routine or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah, I like it. Go ahead and roll a change the game to create relevant status or story tag. What are you gonna?
I'm gonna add Daddy's Fighter.
Definitely. You also have your gang theme, and right now, True Friendship and Lend a Hand are available.
What is? Can you give me a brief what those?
No,
are?
those are just story tags. Those are just tags that you can add as per normal.
Oh, okay.
However, you do have Tight Like That, which gives you +1 juice when you're helping or using help or hurt points, which I guess you aren't doing here. Sacrifice, you can
have
take
a help point.
Yes, but this isn't what you're doing right now. Sacrifice, when you take the hit for an ally and pull it together, you recover 1 burnt crew tag per session, and the only burnt crew tag you have right now is Powers of Deduction.
So I'm gonna just use the True Friendship tag. Is it?
Okay.
Was it True Friendship? Is that what it was? Just because, like, despite Esther's hesitations, they are in sync a lot of the time.
Okay. So roll with a
We're
+2.
friends. You can say it.
No, I'm not. 9.
A 9. All right, so you get 2 juice.
I don't know how this would work exactly, but like a story tag of like routine for like our fighting thing.
So yeah, you can create a story tag, 1 for you and 1 for Faye of the routine.
And then we get to add that to our roll when we're like when we're going toe to toe or whatever.
Using the routine.
So at this point, Esther is walking up and seeing the scene and catches Faye's eye. And Esther starts moving swiftly, and she just gives a little, like, she does a small signal with her hand to signal Faye to rear back and headbutt one of them. And then Esther's gonna, like, come in and, like, take the legs out from under the other one.
I dig it. All right, let's roll a... Why don't you both roll simultaneously? Roll a go toe to toe. You do get to add the +1. Faye, you do have the -2 for being subdued, so right now you're at a -1.
Can I use my fighter still for this, or no?
Sure.
9.
A 9. And Faye, what did you roll?
A 2.
A2, a number 2.
A2.
Okay.
And then I just swapped out my dice for new.
That sounds good. That's a good idea. Okay, well, Faye, or no, let's deal with Esther first. So Esther, you're going for the dude that's talking into his walkie-talkie.
I want to get them good and give him a status.
Okay.
I'm taking him out at the knees.
Okay.
I want it to be like pinned or something, but I don't know if I can do that.
You do pinned.
So, yeah.
Okay. So
take him down and, like, pin him.
Okay. Pin to status. All right. So, do you slide across the slick ground on your knees and, like, take him out around his knees?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you do a cool thing where you slide across the slick ground, you grab him by the knee, flip him over onto his back, and then you're grappling him, forcing his head down into the puddles and like pulling up on his leg. And you look up at Faye. Faye, how are you doing?
So Faye's arm is twisted and she's kind of pushed up against the wall. And so she's thinking to herself, like, okay, I see the signal. I throw my head back to hit him and to headbutt him. And so she throws her head back and he sees it coming and like slightly moves his head to the side. So she completely misses his head. And then she's got so much momentum that when she like goes to move forward, she like moves too far forward and just like bangs her head against the wall.
Nice.
And so you just see this great scene of Faye like shoom boom.
Yeah, and as your head doom hits against the wall, you hear the jingle of handcuffs as he goes to handcuff you. Roll a face danger against a subdued 2 status. And your current subdued 2 status does not apply to this one.
Oh, okay. So this is just rolling without any minuses.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 5.
A 5! Faye, you feel the handcuff clamp around your wrist as he forces you down, and like there are some like chest high like bars next to the entrance with like some steel poles bolting them into the ground. He like slams you underneath one of them and cuffs you to the pole and turns around to look at Esther. Let's cut up to Muhammad and Woodard. You come out of the records room and you see Goldie just skipping with the manila folder along the railing of the second floor. And so like there's offices to your left and like hallways and stuff to your left. And then there is like a railing and just an open area that looks down into the lobby. She's just skipping along the railing, not towards the stairs that you came up, but towards the window.
Okay, so the railing that overlooks the lobby is what she's skipping on?
I wasn't thinking about that, but that's pretty sick. Yes, she's skipping on the railing.
That's exactly how I was picturing it the way you said it.
Yeah, no, I was picturing her skipping on like the carpet and the railing was to her right, but I like that. So that's what she's doing. She's skipping along the railing.
Muhammad's kind of frustrated. He doesn't want to fail this. He knows he needs that address. He's going to rush her and tackle her over the railing.
Damn! Okay. Go toe to toe.
Yeah. So we're going to go Ursine transformation and bear hug, because I'm going to try to grab her and then fall over the railing and land on my back so that it's not like hurting her.
Okay.
But I'm going to hold her.
Yeah. I dig it.
Oh, baby. 14.
14! All right. You do it. You get to choose 2. Achieve your goal / take what they hold. Get them good and give them a status. Or block, dodge, or counter their best attempts.
Yeah, I'm going to achieve my goal of restraining her and block, dodge, or counter her best attempts to escape.
Okay. So yeah, describe for us, how does this look? What happens?
So yeah, he walks out the door. He sees her just skipping haphazardly. He's just done with it. So he runs. You see him lunge, go bear, and just wrap his arms around her and fly over the railing into the lobby.
Yeah. And as you're falling, you hear her whisper, "Too soft." And as you hit the ground, it's not the marble flooring. It's like a cushiony pillow. And then as it like settles in and depresses, and then as you come back up, it solidifies back into the marble. And she looks at you and bats her big blue eyes. She smiles and she says, "I knew you missed this." And she gives you a peck on the cheek.
And Muhammad just kind of accepts it and then gets up and is trying to see what's going on.
Yeah, and as you roll away from Goldie, you look up and you see
Esther grappling one security guard, Faye handcuffed by another, and Woodard is up on the second level. He looks at you, and then he looks over at Esther and Faye, and you can tell he's conflicted. Does he blow his cover and go save his wife? Or does he escape with the information you'll need?
I'm going to yell up to him. Fletcher, leave. I've got the girls.
All right. You start running. Woodard nods, and he takes one last glance at his wife. Faye, do you and Woodard lock eyes?
Woodard takes one last look at Woodard's wife.
His wife.
She has been a main character in the show for 3 seasons, almost 4 years.
Can't stress this enough.
She is now relegated to the role of Woodard's wife.
Ooh, the feminist in me.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Muhammad's partner's wife.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Okay, so Woodard looks at you, Faye. Do you and he lock eyes?
Yes, and I give him a nod, in agreement with Muhammad's go.
Okay, and you see him. He's gripping the railing and gritting his teeth. And he shakes his head, and he runs away from the railing, disappearing into one of the hallways. Esther and Faye, what are you doing? Oh, I guess I should describe what the security guards are doing. You're grappling one security guard, and he's fighting against you. You almost have him, fully detained. And the other, has handcuffed Faye and has his hand on his gun and says, "Hey, you! Hands up!"
My hands are kind of busy right now.
Oh.
Just give me a minute.
He's going to unclip his gun.
Can I get to the handcuffs on the guy that I'm grappling?
Ooh, you definitely could try.
I want to try that because I want to handcuff him, and then I'll put my hands up.
Okay. Yeah, roll a go toe-to-toe. And I'll give you a +1 because you're trying to use this dude's handcuffs against him. But also, don't you have some negative physical statuses going on?
Sure.
Always.
Want me to take all 5 of them?
Would your busted back be interfering with you grappling with this guy?
I mean, maybe. In an alternate universe where I'm not a god.
You're the rift of the god.
Well, feeling pretty godlike right now.
Okay. You sure are.
No, I'll take 3. I got a 7.
Okay, you got a 7. So, with a go toe-to-toe, you get to choose one. Achieve your goal, get them good, block, dodge, or counter their best attempts.
I want to achieve my goal and handcuff him with his own handcuffs.
All right, you handcuff him. And he was at a pinned 2 status, and he had a subdued 3 status. So I'll just say that you handcuff him, he's out of the combat.
And I put my hands up, like I was asked. I don't think the guard is going to like that, but I did comply, so.
Yeah. Faye?
So Faye never, officially put the handgun on the ground. She ran with it. And so I'm assuming when he, twisted her arm and pushed her up against the wall that he pulled the gun or maybe knocked it to the ground.
Sure.
And so Faye, though handcuffed, can still reach where the gun is on the ground. And so she's gonna reach over, grab the gun, and hold it up to him and, cock it so he hears the cocking sound and say, "You put your hands up."
Oh, please roll a convince, and I'll give you a +1 for your handgun.
Okay. I will take the +1. I don't think I have anything else I can add. I got a 6.
Okay. So Faye, you go to try to grab it, but it's just out of reach of your hand. So you do the thing where you reach out with your foot and you kick it towards you and you grab it, and by the time you've brought it up, he's turned around and just grabs the gun out of your hand. Right as you're going and then he grabs it.
But Mohammed, you are barreling into this situation. What are you going to do?
So there's one guard that's now handcuffed?
Yes.
Okay, and one guard has 2 guns now.
Yes, one guard is handcuffed and one guard is 2 guns.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna go full bear before he sees me and just barrel into him. Just smash him into the wall.
Yeah, roll a hit with all you've got.
No. I'm gonna add Arcane Transformation and wallop.
Wallop.
Okay, 9.
A 9? Alright, you get to choose one.
I am going to hold the target's attention, and I'm going to give him a stunned 2 status as I smash him into the wall.
Okay. Stun 2. Yeah, you collide with him. He goes flying into the wall. Boom! And he turns around and he sees a 10-foot tall grizzly bear. And since he is focused on you, he's going to lift up both guns and roll a face danger against a flesh wound 3 status.
Yep. So yeah, he's firing guns at me and I just roar at him. Come on, decent roll. It's not bad, that's not bad. It's a 7.
So you take a flesh wound 2 status as he just starts firing these into you. Esther, Faye, what are you doing? The guard is distracted.
I mean, making a run for it, I guess.
Okay. Faye is handcuffed.
To the thing.
She's handcuffed to a steel bar that connects to the ground and connects to the coffee bar above it.
Okay. Is it possible for Esther to activate her armor on her arm and then try to, with her armored arm, break the cuffs off of the thing so we can run?
This is totally doable. Go ahead and roll a change the game. Do you want to burn your Aegis armor to succeed as if you rolled a 10 with a power of 3?
What would I have to? What would it take to get it back?
To get it back, you would just have to spend a photo montage.
Okay, sure. I'll burn it.
Okay. Faye, what is your status, like your subdual status at?
It was subdued 2. And then
you stepped it up by 2 ticks to a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Esther, describe for us how you shatter this handcuff.
So Esther, as she is moving to Faye where she's handcuffed, her Aegis armor, she puts her hand down and her Aegis armor starts to go over her arm. And then she tells Faye to pull her arm out as far as she can. And then she raises her arm up over her head and smashes it down onto the cuffs, breaking it apart from them.
Yeah. And your rose gold armor glints off your arm as you shatter it. She's free. Do you two run?
Yes.
Do you go through the front door?
I mean, that's the closest door, yes.
Yeah.
I guess so.
As they're running, Faye says to Esther, "What about Mohammed?"
He's a bear! And Esther keeps running.
Esther keeps running. She's going to make it to the door. Faye?
Faye shakes her head and looks back at Mohammed and looks at the door and then notices that he is a 10-foot bear and runs to the front door.
Okay. Esther and Faye.
Probably not gonna kill him. I'm just guessing.
Esther and Faye crash through the door into the midnight air. Mohammed, you're alone with this guard.
Running's just gonna get me shot more. I'm going to bring up my bare hands and smash them down on this guy's arms to try to knock the guns out of his hands.
All right, that sounds like a.
Keep going.
No, this would go toe to toe.
Go toe to toe. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this one that I could burn a tag to succeed on?
Yeah, it is.
What would it do exactly?
You would burn a tag, and you would not be able to use that tag again until you do a photo montage to get it back.
Right.
But you would succeed on the roll as if you had rolled a 10 with a power of 3.
Okay. I'm going to burn my Ursine transformation to succeed on this.
Okay.
And I'm going to get him good and give him an additional stunned 3 status. I'm going to achieve my goal of knocking the guns away, and I'm going to block dodge and counter.
Yeah, definitely. As you hit him with that stun 3, and he has a subdual status, or a subdual spectrum of 3, and you just crash down on his arms, the guns scatter to the ground, and he collapses to the ground in a heap after having a 1-ton bear slap him against his chest. And he is collapsed on the ground, and as you are standing over him, the camera pans over to the security guard that was handcuffed and not unconscious, but he pretends to be dead because you are a bear.
Okay. So my bear form starts to slip, and I just run out of the building.
Yeah. So we cut to outside. Woodard is nervously pacing along the passenger side of the car, Muhammad's Pinto, or Oldsmobile, whatever we said it was, waiting for y'all to come out. He sees Esther dash out, Faye behind her, and then Muhammad crashing through the door. Whenever Faye reaches the car, he opens the door for Faye and he says, "I'm so sorry, are you okay?"
I'm fine, yes, of course.
Muhammad's running towards the car, and as he's getting closer, you guys are seeing he's got bullet wounds, and he just he's almost to the car and he just falls flat on his face.
Oof.
Faye says to Woodard, "Help me grab him. Esther, drive the car." And Faye and Woodard run out to grab Muhammad and help him into the car.
Yeah.
Esther jumps in the driver's seat.
Okay. Woodard and Faye pick you up. Woodard whispers into your ear, "I got you, buddy." And y'all get into the car. I think Woodard will help Muhammad into the passenger seat, and then he and Faye will jump into the back. Esther, do you peel out?
Yes.
You peel out, and as y'all peel out, soaring off into the night, Muhammad, you have the file folder in your hand, and you feel kind of an uncomfortable bulge in your pocket.
Goldie did
I reach into my pocket.
You reach into your pocket and you pull out your wristwatch, and along with it, you see a little folded up note with just the impress of lipstick.
I put my watch on again and just kind of shove the note back in my pocket.
End of episode.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Misconceptions. We'll be back with our next episode on June 7th. If you have a Facebook and or a Twitter, you can find us on both of those social media platforms to get up-to-date information behind the show and behind-the-scenes pictures and videos. We also have an email, misconceptionspod@gmail.com, if you would like to contact us that way. We also have a Discord. You can click the link below to join our Discord and chat with us and other friends of the show directly. As you know, this show is completely supported by the generous monthly donations of our patrons on Patreon. We could not make this show without their help. If you would like to support us monetarily, please click the link below. City of Mist is an RPG created by Son of Oak. You can find more of their products at sonofoak.com. The Misconceptions theme music was composed by Aaron Wharton. You can find more of his music at aaronwharton.net. Misconceptions is a product of the Mistconceptions Podcast Network. And that is it for me this week. Thanks for watching the show. Stick around for the geek out and keep it nerdy, y'all.
our first heist.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, let's geek out. We use the heist rules. Probably not to their fullest extent, but it was pretty fun. What y'all think of it?
I liked it.
It's cool. I like it a lot.
I liked being able to not spend an episode prepping for a mission.
Yes.
But just being able to jump in and then occasionally be like, oh, and we did this.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yes. Yeah, that's cool. Because then it's not like we did this planning the episode before. We know this thing is not going to work. So as players, we are going to avoid it. It's like, oh, this thing doesn't work. And it takes effect right now in the present.
It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Heist rules. They are in the Fortune Row supplement. Highly recommend.
Plug.
Yeah. Let's talk about the rest of these episodes. So this recording session was Woodard and Mohammed joining the team. Y'all going to water treatment plant 123, and Miss Minnie and the heist. A lot of stuff happened this recording session. What do y'all feel? What do y'all think?
It's definitely challenging, like, kind of recreating the team, but I think it's going well.
Mohammed had good synergy with Faye. It's not like 3 completely new people. Plus, we've played together in other things, so it's bringing it together pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of serendipitous how it all worked out. Like, Jaime unfortunately had to leave the show, but it was like, man, who do we bring back on? Like, we don't want to like have to reintroduce a character with only so many episodes left of the season. And we were like, we have a character who has been in the season since season 1, or the series since season 1, and we know the person who plays him. Let's bring him on. And like Mohammed has been an active part of the story, so it worked to like slot him in.
Grateful and fortunate to have you guys bring me back on. So thank you.
Oh shucks.
I'm really grateful that you were willing to jump in so quick and be so flexible with everything and learn this. City of Mist it's easy and complicated all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's complicated because there's so many options. But yeah, so thank you for joining. Also, it's a win-win because now Woodard gets to also be a part of the story, and I don't have to keep trying to loop him in.
This is true.
The story.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I have trouble with like the storytelling aspect. I think because I've told myself so long that like that's not a strong suit that I have. Like, I'm not a storyteller.
Kara, you are a good storyteller.
Okay,
you
well,
are funny.
Yes, but I'm funny. But anyways, no, like, but it's a lot easier to just like roll and like this is exactly what happens. And then when you're like, okay, so tell me how it happens, I'm like, I don't know, like
it just happened.
Yeah, and so like it's just hard. And sometimes I come up with really cool moves, and other times I'm like, well, this sounds super lame, but this is what happens. Like I think I always want it to be super cinematic, and it doesn't always come off that way. And so like in that way, it's kind of like frustrating for me.
Well, I think you did a good job.
Always enjoyed Esther.
Agreed. With David, that you do a good job.
Yeah. People like Esther. They have said as much in comments.
Yeah.
Comments and reviews. Good batch of episodes.
Learned a ton.
Yes. Miss Minnie was a literal wellspring of information. Esther asked a question and got a pretty big answer from Miss Minnie about Morty.
Yeah. But
How
I
do you feel
mean,
about that?
It's nice to have it confirmed by somebody, because for so long it's been like, oh, he killed himself. And no, we didn't. Like, but I mean, I think that she knew that it was, I mean, it had to be the Cabal, right? Like, it's not a surprise, but at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, so this, like, this is real, and they were already an enemy, and like now it's like, okay, now it's personal, like so I don't know.
So now Esther is really committed to bringing down the Cabal.
Yeah.
Also, we found the fifth chair.
Let's play.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured it was her. Like when we were
I
talking
can't believe
to
y'all
her,
didn't know it was her.
I assumed that it was because like all the Viking, like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real honest and a really bad feminist, but it literally did not occur to me that it could be her because I assumed that we were looking for like a male Viking, and so I was like, okay, so like who does she lead to? And then when you were like, it's her, I literally went back to look to see like, are there any other women in this group? And then I was like, oh, Linda, right, like
Yeah, Linda.
one of the main villains. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, and y'all found out information about the Mist. So, listeners, I came up with the idea for this campaign way before the Gatekeeper organization was invented. And the Gatekeeper is like the men in black that maintain the Mist. So they don't exist in this world, and none of the mythos in Shadows and Showdowns applies to this show. So if you're listening to this show and being like, the Gatekeepers would never allow this, you're right, they wouldn't, because it didn't exist when I came up with this story.
That's very interesting because ever since I played the game y'all were in, my first City of Mist game, the Gatekeepers were such a huge part of it. And I have since then, so that was what, like 2 years ago or whatever, been trying to, like, in the back of my head, constantly wondering, like, who are the Gatekeepers in this? So now I know.
Nope.
There's no one.
Not here.
Doesn't exist. And I've always had this theory that all of the old women have all the answers.
I was like, that's accurate.
Not wrong.
And we always run into old women when we need to discover something, so...
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, anything else to mention from these episodes before we answer our questions?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, here are our questions for us to answer. How has the crew grown this session? Which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character this session? Which of your themes is under the most strain? If it collapses, what new aspect will show up in its place? And our fourth custom question, which two of your themes were pitted against each other, and which one of those did you neglect?
I'll start.
Okay.
I think just in talking about like how the crew grew this time, I mean, we grew by 2 new people, like literally. And so, and I think like we're working on like cementing that group. So mechanically, I'm not sure exactly what we would want that to look like, but I just wanted to.
So you believe this session, you work towards the identity we will always have each other.
Right.
Okay. You can either give yourself an attention, or you can recover one of your burnt crew theme tags: True Friendship or Power of Deduction.
I want to get back True Friendship.
Okay. So you're going to unburn True Friendship.
And then can I answer a second question?
Or
no?
No.
Okay.
Just one question.
Just the one salad will be fine.
Just the one salad will be fine. Tessa or Christian?
I would like to give a help point to Esther, because she almost called me her friend.
Wow.
Low
Almost.
bar.
What a deep relationship y'all
Yes.
have.
But specifically in the fight, we had a great, could have been great moment had Faye not messed it up, but just a great like connection of what we were going to do. So I'm going to give Esther a help point.
All right. So go ahead and regain one of your 1,000 help points on Esther. And Christian, which one do you want to answer?
I don't honestly know. Really, my character really only had interaction with Woodard this session. What was the custom question that you said?
The custom question was, were two of your themes pitted against each other? And if so, which one did you neglect?
See, none of these questions really feel like they apply to Muhammad this group of sessions. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think any of your themes were conflicted.
I don't really think any of them are under strain either.
No, definitely not. You could answer how the crew grew this session.
I guess that's true. Well, Muhammad is really trying to show who apparently rushing in as a bear to save everyone.
Yeah.
And just like risking a lot to get this information. So yeah, I mean, so the crew's growing just from, there's a lot of determination to make this work and to get this through, to get what we need to done so that we can stop this cabal. So I think there's just growth in our resolve to go through to do what we need to do.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to give your crew an intention, or do you want to recover your burnt power tag powers of deduction?
Let's recover the burnt power tag.
All right. You have all your power tags back. All right. And that is a wrap on this recording session. And before we go, listeners, if you like Christian and you like his role-playing talent, you should go listen to him full-time on Sins of the Father, where he plays Vartash, a schmarmy little fuck. I mean...
Well, you're not wrong. I just am just the worst.
No, Vartash is a great character, and you could go listen to Christian roleplay that great character over at Sins of the Father. You can find us on @SinsOfThePod on Twitter.
Yeah.
Let's stop this recording.